Have you ever wondered why some relationships feel so draining while others feel so fulfilling? You see, relationships, they're the lifeblood of our existence. They shape our joys, our sorrows, our growth. But not all relationships are created equal. Some uplift us while others, well, they can be downright toxic. Recognizing these toxic relationships is vital for our well-being. So, how do you spot one? What are the telltale signs that a relationship is more harm than good? Well, let's dive into the signs of a toxic relationship. The first sign of a toxic relationship is constant criticism. Now, we're not talking about the occasional feedback or constructive criticism that can actually help us grow. This is about the relentless, destructive criticism that serves no other purpose but to tear you down. It's the kind of criticism that leaves you feeling small, worthless, and always questioning your worth. When the person you're in a relationship with seems to find fault in everything you do, when they constantly belittle your achievements, or when they make you feel like you're never good enough, that's when criticism crosses over into the realm of toxicity. This constant barrage of negativity can lead to low self-esteem, a sense of worthlessness, and can even affect your mental health. It can make you feel like you're walking on eggshells, always on edge, and fearful of making mistakes. Remember, constructive criticism is different from constant destructive criticism. It's important to recognize the difference. The second sign to look out for is control and manipulation. Manipulation can be as subtle as the breeze, yet as damaging as a storm. It's a sneaky tactic, often going unnoticed until it's too late. Control, on the other hand, can be more overt. It can show up as a partner who decides what you should wear, who you should be friends with, or even how you should spend your time. The key to spotting these signs is to pay attention to your feelings. If you constantly feel pressured to act, think, or feel a certain way, you may be under the thumb of manipulation. If you're constantly second-guessing your decisions because of your partner's influence, you might be in a controlling relationship. Remember, a healthy relationship empowers you. It doesn't belittle or diminish you. It respects your autonomy and celebrates your individuality. Manipulation is never a part of a healthy relationship. Sign number 3, lack of effective communication. Communication is the lifeblood of any relationship. It's how we express our thoughts, feelings, and needs to our partner. In a healthy relationship, there's a constant exchange of these elements, creating a shared understanding and mutual respect. But in a toxic relationship, communication often breaks down. Misunderstandings can quickly escalate into conflicts. Instead of talking things through, the silence becomes the default response. This lack of communication can breed resentment, as unaddressed issues pile up and the emotional distance grows. There's also the risk of assumptions replacing genuine dialogue. When partners stop communicating, they might start to fill in the blanks on their own, often leading to misinterpretations and further disagreements. Remember, open and honest communication is the bedrock of a healthy relationship. When words are replaced by silence or worse, assumptions, it's a clear sign you're navigating the choppy waters of a toxic relationship. The fourth sign of a toxic relationship is a lack of respect for boundaries. Now, boundaries aren't just lines drawn on a map. They're invisible barriers we set up to protect our emotional well-being. They're about understanding and respecting our personal needs, values, and feelings. But in a toxic relationship, these boundaries are often ignored or outright violated. Let's say you've made it clear that you need some alone time to recharge after a long day at work. In a healthy relationship, your partner would understand this and give you the space you need. But in a toxic relationship, your partner might continue to demand your attention, disregarding your expressed need for solitude. This disregard can lead to feelings of discomfort, intrusion, and even resentment. Remember, everyone has the right to establish their personal boundaries, and everyone deserves to have those boundaries respected. It's a fundamental part of any relationship. Respecting boundaries is a fundamental part of any relationship. The fifth and final sign of a toxic relationship is neglect and indifference. Imagine being in a room full of people, yet feeling utterly alone. This is what neglect in a relationship can feel like. Your partner is physically present, but emotionally, they might as well be miles away. They fail to acknowledge your accomplishments, dismiss your feelings, and show little interest in your day-to-day life. This indifference can be incredibly damaging. It can make you feel unimportant, unappreciated, and invisible. Now, it's essential to understand that we all have off days. But if this indifference becomes a chronic pattern, it's a sign of emotional neglect, a clear marker of a toxic relationship. In the end, everyone deserves to be in a relationship where they feel valued and cared for. A healthy relationship thrives on mutual respect, understanding, and emotional support. Remember, you are not alone, and your feelings are valid. In a healthy relationship, both parties should feel valued and cared for. So, you've identified the signs of a toxic relationship. Now what? It's a daunting question, isn't it? But don't worry, you've already taken the first step by acknowledging the problem. Now it's all about moving forward. One of the most effective ways to address a toxic relationship is to seek professional help. A trained therapist or counselor can provide you with the tools and strategies you need to navigate this difficult terrain. They can assist you in understanding your feelings, identifying patterns, and developing an action plan to improve the situation. Setting boundaries is another crucial step. Remember, it's okay to say no. It's okay to demand respect and kindness. It's okay to ask for space. Establishing boundaries doesn't mean you're selfish. It means you're taking care of your emotional well-being. Sometimes it may be necessary to distance yourself from the person causing toxicity, at least temporarily. This might mean taking a break from a friend, moving out from a shared living space, or even ending a romantic relationship. It's a tough decision, but it's important to remember that your happiness and mental health should never be compromised. If ending the relationship is not an option, consider open communication. Express your feelings without blaming or criticizing. Use "I feel" statements instead of "you always" accusations. For example, "I feel upset when you dismiss my opinions," rather than "you always ignore what I say." This way, you're voicing your feelings without attacking the other person, which might lead to a more productive dialogue. Lastly, surround yourself with positive influences. Spend time with people who uplift you, who respect you, and who value your worth. They can provide the support and perspective you need during this challenging time. Addressing a toxic relationship can be intimidating and painful, but remember, you're not alone. There are resources and people ready to help. You have the strength and the right to live a life free from toxicity. Remember, it's crucial to prioritize your mental and emotional health. You are worthy of respect and kindness. Never forget that. In conclusion, identifying a toxic relationship is the first step towards a healthier, happier life. Let's take a moment to recap what we've discussed today, as these signs are critical to recognize. Firstly, we talked about constant criticism. Remember, it's natural and healthy for partners to offer constructive feedback, but when criticism becomes incessant and targets your personality or appearance, it could be a sign of a toxic environment. Next, we discussed control and manipulation. A relationship should be a partnership, not a power struggle. If your partner is always trying to control your actions, your time, or even your thoughts, it's a clear red flag. Thirdly, we highlighted the lack of communication. Open and honest communication is the bedrock of any healthy relationship. If you find that your thoughts, feelings, and concerns are often dismissed or ignored, it's time to reassess your relationship. Then, we touched on the lack of respect for boundaries. Everyone has their own personal space and limits. If your partner frequently crosses those boundaries without your consent, it's another telltale sign of toxicity. Finally, we looked at neglect and indifference. Love is about caring for one another. If your partner seems indifferent to your feelings or neglects your needs, it could be indicative of a toxic relationship. But recognizing these signs is just half the battle. We also discussed ways to address a toxic relationship. It's important to express your feelings and concerns to your partner. If the toxic behavior continues, it might be time to seek professional help or consider ending the relationship. It's a difficult decision to make, but remember, your mental and emotional health should always be your priority. And if you're in a situation where you feel trapped or in danger, don't hesitate to reach out to local authorities or a trusted friend or family member. There are resources available to help you navigate these difficult circumstances. In all of this, remember that you are not alone. Many people have been in your shoes and have come out stronger on the other side. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to put your well-being first. And most importantly, it's okay to walk away from a relationship that causes you more pain than joy. Please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification button for more videos. Remember, you deserve to be in a relationship where you feel loved, respected, and valued.